Yep. Again, good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to Cloud AI Leaders. We are delighted to have you as with you for this workshop in collaboration with Online IT Vidhya. Who we are? We are Cloud AI Leaders. As I mentioned earlier, we are specialized in delivering high quality cloud technologies and artificial intelligence and various other niche technologies trainings for both online learners and corporate professionals. If you're interested in exploring more of our courses, please feel free to connect with our administrative team. There's a QR code for the registration. You are more than happy to reach us. A registration form, as I mentioned, is a QR code. If you can scan and register with us, it will be happy. We'll be happy. Okay. Before we begin, a quick housekeeping note, right? As I mentioned in the chat, we kindly request you to keep a notepad and a pen handy to jot down all your questions or concerns. Since this meeting is recorded and will be publicly available, we are not taking the question and answers immediately. We will have a dedicated 30-minute session at the end of this workshop so that you can ask your questions, myself or our colleague Kiran, also an expert in artificial intelligence with a lot of hands-on, highly experienced, can also address their questions, right? So we please keep your questions to the end of the session. And though today we are saying to park your questions, in our regular trainings, we are already conducting a few classes. In our regular trainings, we will have very interactive sessions. Hey Lavish, please park your question if you have one, or you can unmute yourself and ask now before we start the session. Okay, so this is the distraction that I would like to avoid, but thank you very much for understanding. Let us, yeah, thank you very much. Let us take this to the next step. Okay, let us see how many participants we have. We have good number of participants. Okay, okay, so let us start. Let us begin. So who am I? Let me introduce myself before I take you or walk you through this workshop, right? So I am Raj. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I have over 16 years of experience with a different blend of technical expertise, innovation, and entrepreneurial spirit to bring that to every session, right? So having worked with top tier technologies like Oracle ATG or SAP Commerce and applied them across various sectors like finance, telecom, retail, and supply chain as well, right? So I can offer a grounded and a practical approach to the learning of artificial intelligence. I am well versed with other technologies as well, right? So I have patents with, I have a couple of patents in both in India and Australia in medical devices. And I'm currently working on the innovation in medtech space with those patented technologies and actively building prototypes with the help of my team. Cloud AI Leaders is basically not a training institute. It's basically a technology company. We are building, cutting edge AI and ML models to bring impact to the real world healthcare sector. As an entrepreneur, I founded an IT company in India and now steering startup, contributing actively as a member to the NSW startup and deep tech innovative communities, right? So yeah, that's all about me. So what are we going to cover today, right? So we welcome every one of you here, and what we will be covering in this session, we will explore the world of artificial intelligence, right? So many of you might have already, you guys know artificial intelligence. You might have heard, some of you might be using tools like ChatGPT, Copilot. kind of things, right? So we will try to understand what it is exactly, why it really matters, and how it is transforming every industry around us. You will get a glimpse of what AI is and how it is actually reshaping the future, right? So real world applications across business. I mean, we use AI across multiple applications, right? Where do we use that? We use them across business, healthcare, finance, more of them. We will also try to understand, we will try to do some short demos with powerful AI tools that you can use starting today, right? So after this meeting, you will have a good exposure towards tools that you can use to, in your day-to-day life to boost your career, or boost your performance in your jobs or whatever. We will, in this workshop, we will also um, see the fast emerging AI career paths. You might have already heard about prompt engineers, GenAI specialists, AI analysts, ethics experts, kind of stuff, right? So there are a lot of jobs out there. I will also walk you through some jobs, right? Not everything, but I will definitely give you a glimpse of what those jobs are. But that's a foundation to AI, right? So there are some tools that actually are on which the AI is built. So I'll cover the architecture of AI. I will also walk you through some terminologies which you can use in your day-to-day job. Knowing something is always good than knowing nothing, right? So I'll give you a sneak peek into what LLMs are, what prompt engineering is, how AI agent systems work, kind of things. Finally in the workshop, um, you will learn why choosing us matters. And it's not just that. I will give you a walkthrough of the course content, right? So I mean, it's a very exciting journey. Let's get started into the exciting journey into the future, right? So yeah. Okay. So I don't want to give you a very theoretical session. I will also include some practicals. Hold on tight. Don't get bored. I'll walk you through those things as well. Okay, so AI. So every one of you here must have already heard what AI is, right? So AI is no longer a distant concept, right? So now we are using it in everyday lives. You're using AI in multiple places, some knowingly, some unknowingly you use. For example, it knowingly, like ChatGPT, unknowingly, when you're opening a Google map or you're talking to Siri, you know, those are all AI tools and chatbots, right? So AI is no longer a distant concept. It is already transforming how we live, work, and communicate, right? So communicate, by the way, if you're using translators like Google Translate or Duolingo, they are all AI specific or powered tools, right? So whether you are a student, a working professional, a lecturer, AI is becoming the core skill, like using a computer or internet. So, many years ago, computer is very new to everyone, but nowadays computer is most basic thing that every one of us have, right? So exactly like that, AI will become part of our lives. Okay. uh, in this era, if you don't know AI, you will be lost. I'll tell you a perfect example, right? So for fun, uh, I mean, uh, so many of you used ChatGPT. Can any one of you think about what GPT means in that ChatGPT? You know, think about. I mean, you don't have to answer here, but GPT. Can you think about what GPT is? I'll tell you. It is generative pre-trained transformer, right? So we don't know the terminology, but we still use. So here we are to give you that introduction of technical terminology, as well as make you understand how exactly they work, right? So this is all about AI course. There are hundreds of courses in the market, but many of them will teach what is ChatGPT, how to use that, right? So you don't know the course of it, then you are lost when you're really using, or if you want to imply that in your real-time applications. Like you learn, technology in your engineering colleges, but when you actually go into the job, that thing that you learned there is remains a basic, but you don't know what to use there. Okay, so we'll see how we can derive, how we can, how it really impacts our day-to-day lives, right? So um, you know the rise and fall. So when I was explaining about AI, I'll try to explain how it really works, right? So back in days, we all used to use the newspapers. Our dads or granddads, they used to take a physical newspaper. They used to read the newspaper to understand the news, what's happening around the world, right? So we all know, maybe not the latest Gen Z or Alpha, but the previous generations like us, we used to carry, camera phones to cameras, not the phones, sorry. We used to carry the cameras to take pictures. Our grandparents used to have radios to listen to music or news. We also seen CD players to play movies or songs, in our these things. And we used to carry wallets for our digital payments or whatever, right? So now what happened to all of these, when we had a mobile? So when you have a physical mobile like this, what happened? Everything, the news you're reading on your mobile, your cameras you're taking pictures from your camera, the radio you are listening to Spotify and everything, the YouTube, the Spotify is, you're listening to the music on your mobile, right? So the CD player, you no longer need a CD player, you're watching the movies also in your mobiles and tabs, right? Digital wallets, you're no longer even carrying the plastic cards, you're just doing an Apple Pay tap, you're doing a phone pay with your phone, right? So you don't have to use all these apps. What happened to all these things? They're all gone. Now you have the mobiles, right? So um, you know this is what artificial intelligence is, right? So artificial intelligence is the next mobile phone movement, right? So you have a lot of jobs across the world, but when AI comes into picture, it will replace all these jobs. So it is very, very, very important for us to learn AI to be future ready, right? So AI is bringing intelligence into everything. Is it replacing? No, it is not replacing everything, but it is bringing intelligence to everything, right? So you have to know how to use it exactly, right? So this is what it is, right? So yesterday we have seen the mobile revolution. So when mobiles came, everything changed, right? So it consolidated everything into one phone. Now today it is AI revolution. So tomorrow, I mean, when AI will properly replace everything, tomorrow we will experience, it will be more personalized, more intuitive, more intelligent in the way you work, you make decisions, and interact with the technology every day, right? So 5 years from now, you can't even imagine how the world will change. 2 years back, we don't know what AI is. It is there, but it is not overwhelming, right? So today, 2 years down the lane, today we are already talking about many companies are firing people just because they want to replace them by AI. Just imagine 5 million customer support jobs are gone just because of AI chatbots. People, if a company want to have 24 by 7 support, uh, they have to hire 3 people in 3 shifts. Now, if they deploy one chatbot, it will replace those 3 people and work 24 by 7 without paying salary. So imagine like this across the globe, there are 5 million people who lost the jobs just in customer support. This is what the implication is, right? It is going to be tremendous, right? So let us understand a few areas where you're actually, I mean, when I say, it is changing everything, but, you should understand why it is changing, where it is changing, right? So few examples of where it is actually happening, right? So smartphones, for example, AI is there in facial recognition. So many of you use iPhones. When you do the touch, I mean, when you unlock your phone with fingerprints, it will not unlock from with other person's fingerprints, right? So fingerprints are, how do the smartphone knows if it is your fingerprint? Sometimes it will scan your eye, the retina of your eye, to unlock your phone, right? So how does it know that this is this person? Because it intelligently learns from your thumb impressions or your retinal impressions, right? So that's how those things work. Voice assistants, we use voice assistants every day, right? So for an example, if I say, hey Siri, what's the time now?
It's 2:57 p.m.
Thank you. So
you're welcome.
So you see these voice assistants, right? So how does it know? If I ask some information to it, right? Say, hey Siri, who is Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh?
The Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh is the Chief Executive of the Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. Do you want me to keep reading?
No. Can you name the Chief Minister?
Would you like me to use ChatGPT to answer that?
No, thank you.
Okay, I won't.
Okay, so it is interacting with me, right? So this kind of interactions is basically the AI. It uses certain technology called NLP, which is natural language processing, right? So it naturally understands my language, and it converts that language into the machine understanding language, and it verifies the internet. See, when I asked a wrong question or an invalid question, because there can be many chief ministers, right? So I did not accurately ask the question, but it asked, do you want me to search in the search engines, right? So this is how it is, right? So social medias, email communications, educations, you name whatever, they will all be available. I can actually give you some links, right? So let me actually show you a tool, how AI can actually work. Okay, so I will bring up a mail writing tool, right? So this is one example I want to give you. So let me know when you're able to see. I will simply say this is an AI tool, right? So I want to write an email. Okay, write an email. It's a lead letter to my manager. Sure. So I have simply, I simply said this, right? So when I mentioned that, it will start to write the letter to my manager. I can fill in the rest of the data. But previously, if you want to write an email, you have to manually take an mail, and then you have to write all these things, right? So you can actually change how you want, right? So you want to elaborate, it can elaborate that. You want to formalize, it can formalize that. See, it is doing that for you. See, it has elaborated that email to you. You want to really formalize the email, it will really formalize that email for you. See, this is all about AI. It is intelligently learning what you want using a prompt, and then it prepares a formal email to you. You can have a number of things, right? So you can even integrate this with Gmail, and you can use that for your you know for your day-to-day life. I'll ping you the URLs while I do this stuff. do this training, and then you can use them going forward. Not just this one, right? So I can actually use another tool as well. Let me bring that up as well. Okay, so let me bring Copilot, right? So I spoke about the voice assistant. You have already seen the voice assistant like Siri. This is another generic tool that we use every day, the Copilots, right? So you can ask Copilot anything. Probably I have to share this again for voice. Hey, probably I need to sign in. That's why. Are you able to hear that voice from there? Can you raise your hand if you're able to hear the voice? Okay, very good. Uh, hey, can you tell me where the tulips are grown, Ellie? Thank you. So, are you able to hear that voice from Copilot? Oh, okay. We couldn't hear. Let me share that screen, right? So, share another. Okay. Now I'm asking this again, right? So let me know when you're able to hear.
You're
Hey,
Mhm.
where can we find tulips in the entire world?
The Netherlands is the top spot for tulips globally. Their tulip fields are like a sea of colors in spring.
Thank
Be-
you.
You're welcome.
आज भारत में क्या हो रहा है?
Sorry, I can't talk about user data or privacy, but you can check out Microsoft's privacy documentation for more information.
आज का तारीख क्या है?
आज का तारीख है 22 जून 2025.
की पैसा?
समय हुआ है 3 बजे के 4 मिनट.
Thank you.
No problem.
Let me share my other screen again. Uh, so so you able to hear the voice from? Okay, able to hear. Thank you very much. So this is how it is, right? So you can ask your questions in multiple languages. That is called the natural process language processing, right? So the NLP helps understand and respond to voice commands, which I have shown you just now. I have shown you examples of how smartphones are working. The email communication I have shown you. You have also looked into, the Google Maps. I mean, you already aware of Google Maps. So when you are starting to drive, so what happens if there is a traffic congestion in one place? It will redirect you. Based on your current location, it will redirect you to a better place or a better direction based on the AI powered, intelligence. Basically, it's the machine learning that learns and navigates you in a different path, different shortest path. They use the shortest path algorithms in order to, navigate you the right time. Um, also not just that, but LinkedIn, right? So many of you are job seekers. So if you are trying to search for certain jobs, LinkedIn automatically reflects you, or suggests you to certain kinds of jobs, right? So it's all the intelligence that it is using. This is all AI, right? So okay. So I can actually, I share the Copilot link with you guys? Mail meter. Okay, let me actually share this information so that you can use it. You can save this information, so that you can try it out after this workshop, right? So let's continue with the next slides. I told you that it is actually, I told you AI is more like human with intelligent system behind it, right? So let me articulate that in a easy way, right? So AI works like a digital brain, just like us, right? So when um, think about this scenario, right? So if you are asked to go to movie, then you will ask which movie. Then if I tell you the movie name, then you'll ask what time. And then if I say go at 5 o'clock, then you'll ask me how should I go. I mean, it's random questions, right? So you are trying to gather as much of information you want before you take a certain action, right? This is exactly how the AI also works. So it takes a lot of information, it learns, and based on that information it will act. So since it is a machine, it will store all that information in its memory and then use that. I'll talk about this memory in a bit, but it will use that uh, information every time you ask the question. It will try to, the more data, the more number of questions it will ask, and it will provide you the more accurate information. So after 5 years, if I ask you the same question, say, hey, go to movie, then you will again ask me which movie, what theater, what time, because you have adapted certain intelligence. Based on your intelligence, you are asking me those questions, right? So it's exactly like that. So AI works like a digital brain. It can think, I mean, it can think by processed information, right? It will process the information just like humans, uh, when we solve the problems or make decisions, right? So it's exactly like that. It can learn by analyzing the data. There are algorithms to analyze the data, right? So maybe it may be the statistical analysis or a machine learning or whatever model it is. It will analyze the data and the past experiences. So it will also have a neural network of decisions that it took, and it will analyze that information as well. I will show you how it works. It will analyze that information as well before it gives you certain data. For example, the email that I've written earlier, there are hundreds of models, hundreds of email templates that it has, and it is using that information to provide you that, right? The more information you provide, the more accurate results you will get. We can discuss about that in a bit. I'll show you chat gpt as well, right? So it can adapt, meaning it changes the behavior when it sees the new information or patterns every day, right? So AI is improvising. So the reason why AI is there for a very long time and it is suddenly across the globe is because it is becoming better and better every day, and it is able to do lot of things which humans are not able to do that quick, right? So if you have to write a book, you will take at least 3 months to 6 months. But if you ask AI to write a book, it will take exactly 5 minutes to complete the entire book with the book image and a lot of images in the book. It will give you the title of the book. It will give you the cover page of the book. It can do everything, right? So I'll tell you how it works as well. So AI is improvising, as I mentioned, and learning from more data, becoming faster, smarter, more accurate. Whether recommending a movie, some examples, right? So if you want a recommendation for a movie, hey Siri, tell me which movie is good. It will give me that information as well. If you or emails, right? So if you open a Gmail, there is something called a spam folder, right, or a junk folder. So how does it understand that this email that you are receiving is a junk email? 10 years back or 6 years back, at least 6 years back, we have to manually say this is a spam email and move it to spam folder. Now it is automatically doing, because the machine have learned so much of information. Based on the patterns, it automatically sends those emails to the junk emails, right? Even AI is even helping the doctors to analyze, detect diseases. There's a wonderful video. I mean, there's an audio issue, but otherwise, I would have shown that as well. So AI keeps improving daily and making our lives simple, right? So as I told you how these things work, let me actually show you an architecture, right? So this workshop is basically to understand what AI is and how it works. But when we actually go into our regular courses, right? So we will be presenting far more information, which will be really helpful for your jobs. If you are a student, it will be helpful for you to gain a job. I mean, find a job, right job, right? So not any job, or if you are already a working employee, it will boost your performance or improve your performance. I will show you how you can do that as well. I'll show you a couple of tools which will help you, expedite your work uh, at office, right? So things like that. So, to let you understand what exactly or how exactly AI works, this is the basic architecture, right? So, artificial intelligence is not a small part. It is, it is a very, um, you know, a mix of many things. So, as I mentioned, it takes a lot of questions, understands what these questions are. It puts everything in uh, as a pattern, and that patterns are called the deep learning, right? So uh, you don't have to know all the terminology now. We will tell you these things in our training. uh, for example, deep learning, if I say CNN, it's like convolution neural network, right? So what does it do? It actually does the filters to detect features like edges. Nowadays you can see, um, if you see certain tools like Sora, um, if you say, hey Sora, um, create me a video for a flying fox, right? So, or Gemini, for example, Google Gemini, if you say, create me an image for flying fox, it will create you a image of a fox flying, or a bat, flying fox bat, right? So if you say, put me an image of flying fox with sunset, so how will it create all that information from the back end, right? So it has a lot of information, predefined information, and that information is the CNN, right? So CNN is basically convolution neural network, which detects shapes, right? The edges, shapes, textures, kind of things. And I mean, there are a lot of other things, right? So also the DBM is deep belief system. I mean, if you say sunset, it believes the sunset is always, dull, or is about to be dark, right? So it has the deep belief system. Neural network, on the other hand, is multi-layer perceptions, which means, if I say, a man is waving his hand, what does it do? It will actually calculate different waves, right? So this is one position, this is one position, this is one position, this is one position. So it will capture all that information and create that neural network, right? So that's different network. So as a human, we already have all these things, right? So when I say, a bird is flying, even without, if I say, hey, there's a pigeon flying, what will you do? You will imagine a pigeon which is your, DBN, deep belief system. Flying means you can imagine without seeing that there's a bird flying, right? So this is all about this neural network. On top of that, there's a machine learning. The machine learns from all these systems, right? There are a lot of networks, neural networks that are in place, and a machine learning is nothing but algorithms, different types of algorithm, right? So for example, k nearest neighbor is one of the algorithm that is used by apps like Google Maps, or even if you take India, Swiggy app, for example, that has a, when you see the delivery map, uh, when you're tracking the delivery, there will be a small scooter going, right? So that's basically the k nearest algorithm. So it will map the user onto the map. So there are a lot of algorithms behind it, and on top of this there is an artificial intelligence, right? Um, so this is how the artificial intelligence works. So this is one. Now, so when I talk about that architecture, right? So when I talk about this architecture, you might be thinking, what is the difference between AI and a traditional programming, right? So even traditional programming, for instance, if you have to write a program, um, so what will happen? You will write the entire program, um, and then it works every time. It works the same way. For example, if I write a program to add two numbers, right? So, and I give the numbers 2 and 5. So every time you run the same program, it will give you the result as 7, right? So what is an intelligent program? An intelligent program is one which will ask, sorry, um, request everyone to be on mute, right? So, okay, in an intelligent program, an artificial intelligence program will understand the pattern. So next time when you say add two numbers, it can understand how frequently the numbers are changing, what numbers the users might be asking, or even go beyond that, adding two numbers, and it will understand the patterns, the statistical analysis. 2 plus 2 is a simple example, but if you understand the world statistics, right? So AI is being used to do the climate control, like they predict the weather. All your weather reports that comes uses AI, right? So it predicts different patterns. It is not programmatically done to retrieve the information from one area, right? So previously, before AI, if you check the news, like they will say, today weather can be, it can be raining or it will be very hot, but you cannot predict that. But nowadays, if you open any weather app, it will say 4 p.m. it will rain, then it will exactly rain at 4 p.m. because it can understand the weather statistics across the globe, right? So that's the difference between traditional programming and artificial intelligence. Um, uh, yeah, someone have a question? Um, sorry. You guys need a break, or is it okay if I continue? Um, okay, so let us continue. Okay, so the reason why I said, why I was talking about natural language of the uh, programming versus programming versus artificial intelligence is because, in artificial intelligence there are a lot of things involved. We are now getting deep into the artificial intelligence side of things, right? So how does I just wanted to connect the dots of the architecture with the um, next steps, right? So the basic requirement, or the basic way of to approach AI, is to understand what an NLP is, the natural language processing. So what does it do? It understands your language. And for example, I have asked the Copilot, what's the weather looking like now, right? So what is the day today? So it told me. Then I spoke in a different language. I spoke in Hindi, and it could answer me in English on how it worked, right? So I can actually give you a few more examples on what they are. Like, for example, I will give you another example, right? So let me actually pull the other example. Um, so here, um, I will write a sentence, right? So let me, so, I'll write a broken English kind of sentence, right? So in India, many of us, when we are starting to learn English, many of us speak in a very broken language, right? So let me actually try to put a sentence in broken language. The man which was walking very, very fastly. Don't laugh at my broken English. This is deliberately written to make you understand how these things work. Straight today, he didn't even see the dog what was barking because he was talking to his phone. Also, he wasn't paying no attention to nothing around in which it kind of dangerous. There might be spelling mistakes as well, right? So let me put, you know, wrong spellings as well, because cards are coming quick and might hit him, but luckily nothing didn't. So this is completely broken sentence, right? So if I say, okay, rewrite this sentence formally. Now see how intelligent the AI is. It understood what I meant to say, and it changed the characters, right? So it have articulated me very well. The man who was walking very quickly down the street yesterday didn't even notice the dog that was barking loudly because he was talking on phone and was not paying any attention to his surroundings, which was somewhat dangerous since cars were coming quickly and could have hit him. Fortunately, nothing happened. You understood how well it has written, right? So this is how it is turning or improving the performance of our everyday life. So you might be thinking 200 times before talking to someone, or if you want to write this in an email to somebody, you will be worried whether your grammar is correct or not, right? So especially in India, we are not native English speakers, right? So we all been there, and this is very nice. And if you want to casually say something, right? So if I want to rewrite this sentence in a shortest format, or like I can even change the grammar, right? So I can say, I can uh, maybe simplified, academic, diplomatic, very casually. If you want to talk to in a very friendly manner, if you want to inform me, or in a maybe let me write it in a casual way, right? So I can even write this sentence in a different language. See, very casually, I said there's a man, right? So that it converted that into a very casual The guy who was rushing down the street yesterday didn't even notice the dog barking loudly because he was busy on the phone. He wasn't paying any attention to his surroundings, which was pretty dangerous since cars were zooming by and could have hit him. Thankfully, nothing have happened. I can even change the way it is, right? So I can modify, I can translate. Say I want to translate this thing, right? So I want to translate it into, we all know Telugu, right? So let us see if you can convert this to Telugu, right? Don't ask me to read that Telugu translation. I cannot. I can, but I will not. Uh, it is now the natural language processing playing the picture, and it is converting each word by word to its language, right? So it is doing that. You can even simplify that text and convert that, right? So you have a lot of options to modify. You see, you can rephrase, you can expand, you can shorten, you can translate to different language. Um, while it's coming, yeah. Oh, sorry for that. Translate. Shouldn't take so much of time. Probably the servers are busy. Yeah, yeah, you can see this, right? Some of you can read as well. But this is how it translated everything into Telugu, right? You can translate that into any other language as well, but I don't want to waste much more time on this one, right? So let me take it back. Um, okay, you're able to see the same screen back, right? So these things, right? So voice assistants, we have seen Siri, we have seen the examples of Copilot as well. These are different voice assistants, right? So sentiment analysis on detecting the emotions, right? So say in Facebook or Instagram, if you're looking at the war videos continuously for 5 minutes, and then it does the sentiment analysis for you, and it will, even though you don't want to see those videos, it will only prompt you the war videos. Now what's happening in the world, if you're looking at trading crypto kind of videos, it will show you all trading crypto related videos on your wall. If you're watching motivational videos, it will show you those things. These are different sentiment analysis kind of examples, right? The translations, we have just seen a translation. I have just converted um, a very bad sentence into a very powerful sentence in different emotions as well. I've converted that into a different language as well, right? Chatbots, we have all seen the chatbots. They are pretty much in everyday world, right? So I can give you this example as well. Okay, the example that I've shown you just now is already in the links that I have shared. You want me to put that? I can actually put that for you, right? I mean, this is just one example. You can try out other examples, right? You can write your own words and see how it works. Chatbots are also that. I'll show you the chatbots in a bit in a different this thing. So just give me 1 minute. Okay, so the large language models. We all know and heard about large language models, but what exactly is large language models? You might have already heard about Chat GPT, right? So Chat GPT, the one screen that you see is just the application, right? It is just the view layer or the presentation layer, but how does it actually go and bring all that data? The other example that I've given to you, the Ahref sentence rewriter, that also uses a GPT in the backend. I told you what GPT is, right? So it is generative predefined transformer. So it transforms all your content into a very nice, viewable, in the way what we want, right? So it actually transforms. That is why it is called the transformer, right? So LLM, if I have to simplify it, LLM is a large language model in advanced AI system trained on massive data. So when in the previous example, when I've shown you, um, it transforms the information based on the knowledge it had. So how will it know man means Manishi in Telugu, right? So it should know, it should have that pattern, it mapped from one language to other. It's just not that, right? So in that previous example itself, which I have shown, um, there is, I mean, it's just not this language, but if I want to convert into Spanish, it will convert the language into Spanish as well, right? So, air, hombre means man, right? So it knows, right? It exactly matched those patterns um, to give you that information. So there's lot of massive amounts of text data to understand, generate, and manipulate the human language, whichever language you want, right? It learns those patterns, right? So it learns that patterns, it learns that grammar, it knows the facts, it does the reasoning, and this data is produced in a much coherent way. I mean, the way we want it, right? So I have put a broken sentence, but it has converted that into a in a very nice fashion, right? So it's converting that into coherent, context aware. I mean, in which context you want to have it, in a formal way, you want to have it in a casual way, or an empathetic way. There are a lot of versions to it. You just play around with that tool. It's free, you can try it out, and then that's LLM, right? So this is the LLM, which means it has a lot of training data. It understands and recognizes the patterns, and it can generate text just like human, right? Hope you're aware. I mean, hope you learned something about LLM today, right? So let us understand what how many LLMs are there. There are more than 500 LLMs, right? So sorry, not sorry. Uh, I'll take back my word. At this point, there are more than 100 LLMs, but there are some, um, you know, what do you call them? Sorry. Yeah,
Wrappers
there
around
are
LLM.
approximately five. Uh,
Yeah.
there are some.
Sorry. Yeah. These are the wrappers around LLMs.
Yeah, wrappers. Yeah, thanks, Kiran. Yeah, there are over 100 LLMs, but there are a lot of wrappers around those LLMs, right? So which are over 500. Thanks, Kiran. So there are approximately 50 to 100 real independently developed language models. Many of them are simple wrappers, as Kiran mentioned, fine-tuned of open weight LLM, which means large language model meta AI, right? So that's LLM. When you when you listen to words like these acronyms, don't worry, don't get worried. We will teach all of these things in our training sessions, right? So it's very important if you want to go into the new world. um, you definitely have to learn these things, right? So if you want to do a job in AI, you should learn these technology and terminologies. When you start using your Instagram, you already know what one reel is, right? So, or shorts are, right? So exactly like that. So, true LLMs can be distinguished for, different reasons, right? Maybe for transparent research, there are specific LLMs which are there for specific reasons as well. For example, I have listed some of the use cases here. These are top 10 LLMs of 2025. The OpenAI, Anthropic, Google DeepMind, even Elon Musk's Twitter, which is called the X, has XAI. Alibaba, we all know it has Queen. Yeah, there are a lot of other things as well, but you understand these things. It's good, right? So I don't want to spend much time here. Let's move on. Yes, the very interesting topic of this day, right? So we all know AI has come. We all know many companies are firing or laying jobs of many people just because of AI, right? So why are they doing that? Do you know why? Because I told you one example, the chatbots, right? So if I have a company and if I have um, to support 24 by 7, then I have to put three people in shift, right? So the three different shifts so that they can work 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours and support the customers. But now if I have one chatbot, it will run 24 by 7. All I need is one server and internet. That's it, right? So I don't have to worry about paying them salary. I don't have to pay chatbot a salary. I don't have to pay their incentives. I don't have to worry about their conflicts. Don't have to worry about anything, right? I just have um, one chatbot installed. Customer service is gone. This happened earlier as well, right? So this happened, there are many, in the industrial revolution, for example, there used to be thousands of people working in factories. For example, let us take an example of a car company, right? Car manufacturing company. So when car manufacturing company have come, there are thousands of people working every day to manufacture hundreds of cars, right? So now when the machines came in, it replaced all the human labor. uh, and then the labor is gone. The machines are working 24 by 7, not 8 hour shift. They are working 24 by 7, creating millions of jobs. Say 100 people can manufacture a car in 10 days. A machine can create 10 cars in one day, right? So we have seen huge performance impact in the companies as well, less labor cost. But if you think this way, what happened to the labor? Their jobs are gone. But the company has to create new roles for operating these machines, right? So the machine operators got the new jobs. So the old jobs are gone, the new jobs have come, right? So exactly what will happen in future. So if you are like that laborer, uh, say you're writing your automation scripts, you're doing your manual testing, you're writing your code manually, or if you're an office administrator who is trying to type your emails manually, your job is limited, right? So when a person with AI knowledge comes into picture, he will get that job, you will lose your job. So it is very important for us to learn AI at this point. This is the right time. So what kind of jobs will go away? Data entry jobs, the basic customer service job, as I told you, right? So you don't have to do data entry, you don't have to write email, to write if you have to collect a lot of information from internet and fill in an Excel sheet for your lead generation, your job is gone, because we have tools in market that can scrape the entire internet and get all the contacts within 1 hour, right? So you have to give a proper prompt and it will do the job for you. But what happens to the people who are gone, right? So if they learn these AI tools, they can become a AI marketing agent, a good web designer or a designer, writing with AI tools, right? So if you are a web developer, you're creating a web page in say 30 days, right? So if you have a AI tool, it will create you a website in 30 minutes, right? So there are tools which can do that job for you. So what is it required? You require to upskill, right? So you have to learn these skills of different tools and technologies that will work for you, right? So what kind of new jobs are there in the market? I will show the list of jobs later, but AI ethics, prompt engineer, Gen AI, agentic AI, these are all the different roles, right? So to summarize what I told, while many fear AI will replace jobs, history shows the technology transforms the workforce instead of shrinking it, just like the machine operators have replaced the labor, right? So, exactly like that will happen. AI automates the repetitive tasks, freeing people to focus on creativity. Now, you are more creative, right? So you become more creative now. Initially, if you have to write an email to your boss asking a leave letter, you are typing everything word by word, right? So now you are becoming creative. You are writing, you are asking a prompt to AI, and it is doing that job for you, right? So I'll show you the roles, but people who embrace this will be on top, right? So um, before that, I will give you another example. Say, imagine if from tomorrow you have to live the entire life on a boat, right? So imagine if you have to live your life, the entire life on a boat. What will you do? In water, right? So if you have to live in water forever, what will you do? You will learn swimming, right? So exactly like that, you are getting into the world of AI. Imagine that as a big ocean, right? So it's a big ocean. For you not to be lost, you have to learn AI to stay safe, right? So that's the example I can give you. Okay, so how AI is changing every industry? I'll this is one example, right? So industries across the globe harness AI, transforming operations to deliver better. I told you about the manufacturing industry. Like there is if you have to maintain a car, I mean, imagine the same example, right? The cars manufacturing industry, say Tesla will not keep manufacturing hundreds and thousands and lakhs of cars if there is no one to purchase those cars, right? So they will not create this. I mean, the car company is not there to manufacture thousands of cars or lakhs of cars when there are only hundreds of people. So they do the predictive analysis, which means how many people are going to buy in the month of March, how many people are going to buy in the month of April, how will it be if there is a war between Iran and Israel? Will that impact my car company? Will US winning Trump can increase the sales of my cars, right? So they do all these predictive analysis before manufacturing hundreds of cars, right? The quality of cars, right? So exactly the same way. Okay, so many people have complained about this feature, so we have to do quality control on this feature, right? So the reason why Tesla is not able to sell their cars in Europe, because they have sharp edges, right? So they have modified it to, this is all the analytics that they take, and the AI will read these patterns, and it will give you a informed, actions, so that the companies can do that. Retail, we have all seen, right? So if you open Myntra or any other website, if you do shopping for two times, open Amazon, right? So if you buy an electric motor, and then if you buy a electric plug, from next time it will show you predictions of electricity related items, right? So similarly, healthcare, it understands the patterns. And healthcare, now the disease prediction, for example, if you have to bring a vaccine into market, it should take at least 3 years of human trials. But what happened in COVID? Because of AI and the machine learning, it could read millions and trillions of gene data, and we can bring the vaccine within 3 months, right? So this is how AI is helping in every industry these days, right? So from manufacturing uses AI-driven robots, predictive maintenance improving efficiencies and downtimes, right? So also the transportation, I've spoke about it multiple times. The Google Maps or Waze apps, they use the route optimization algorithms. Agriculture these days, previously you used to, if you go to market, you used to find the ripened fruits as well unripened fruits. The reason why you are able to see good fruits these days in market is because AI, I mean, at least in advanced countries, right? So AI is able to identify which uh, which fruit is good for picking it right in the right time, right? So the machines do that job for the people. They run on autonomous machines to go and pick the fruits as well. They're to remove the weed, right? Kind of things, right? So they are using them everywhere. Okay, so let me actually not bore you with the theory stuff, right? So I am giving you a lot of theory and the information. Let us see few more tools, right? Let us try to understand few more tools. I have already shown you the tool for you know chatbots. Let me take you through some tools, right? So let me take you to the code writer, right? So this is good Copilot. uh, you can actually write this, say, okay, so let me take a role, right? For an example, if I am a automation tester, right? So you all know the QA, right? So if I'm an automation tester, I will write me a script to test login in using Java. So it will create me the script, and I have my script ready, right? So it will even tell you how to do that testing as well, right? So this is one, right? So now I want to change this. I want to do this in Selenium, one of the most powerful tools, right? So many people use Selenium. I simply say Selenium, right? So it has actually created me the entire login journey. All I need to do is change my URL. I want to input, my username and password, and then it will write me this. Now it is even asking me how to, it is saying me change this, you can install this and do this, right? So I will say, I want to automate this for multiple users. See, it has modified the script so that I can use um, different test users, right? So user one, user two, user three, and it will verify, it will loop that information for multiple users. It is not even moving out, right? So you have this Python script, you have this Python script. So this is how it is changing the um, code, right? So if you want to run the code, if you want to create a web page, for example, I don't want to automate the web page. Rather, I will try to create me a login screen with login screen. Let me actually be more specific, right? I want to create a website like Amazon web application with login screen, PLP, which is product listing page, PDP, which is product detail page, cart, checkout, and order confirmation. This is the journey of your Amazon or Myntra or whatever website you check, right? So I am asking Copilot to do that for me. So it has done this. It said login user for authentication, product listing page, product detail page, cart, checkout, order confirmation. So this is going to be my directory structure. And then it is going to say, once you confirm, I will simply say yes, right? So now it is creating me different files. You see, this is my backend, this is my index page, this is my JSON, this is what exactly what I said, you know. I can download all the files and I can actually put them in my project, and my entire website design is done. All I need to change is I want a blue theme for my project. Create CSS for this, right? So I want a blue theme for my project. See, my beautiful designing is also done. I don't have to sit for, in order to create a website. Previously, we used to have a front-end designer, a back-end designer, a UI designer, a UX designer. There are a lot of features, right? So I can deploy the entire website in the matter of 5 minutes, right? So this is, this is where the performance is improved. Let me also show you another example, right? So okay, so which we'll see the document summarizer, right? So I will put you those links in a minute. Okay, so this is the document summarizer. What I can do, if you have say I have a Wikipedia, we'll talk about Elon Musk, right? So if you have to read about Elon Musk, how much time will it take for you to read all this information? A lot of time, right? At least 2 days you need to read all this information. No, I just want to, I'm going into a meeting and I want to um, talk to someone about Elon Musk, right? So what I will do, I will put this URL here, and then I say, okay, summarize in bullet points. And it is extracting everything. Just see the speed of this retrieval, right? So it is retrieving all that information in no time, right? So if you have to read the entire content, it will take you how much time? 2 days of time, right? So it has already done it. It is now presenting the summary for me. Just give it one more minute because the text is heavy. While that happens, what I will do, I will also open Wikipedia and search for Bitcoin. This is, or let us say XRP, right? So XRP, or let's say Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin. This is another lengthy one, right? So what I will do, because I cannot have this like this, I'll say Control B, let me save it as a PDF, just summarize these things, right? So this is the entire PDF. It has so many pages, 27 pages, right? So I'll try to save it on my desktop, save. Okay, by the time I do that, it has already given me summary about Elon Musk, right? So, and it has given me in Spanish because I have selected Spanish. If I want to select as English, let me summarize this in English. In English. if you have any other, I mean, maybe if you want me to do that in Hindi, I can do that as well. Let me find it in Hindi, right? So for Hindi speaking people, let me summarize this in Hindi. So it is already extracting key points, condensing the information, means translating the information, and it is trying to summarize everything, right? So almost there. If you have academic papers, or if you want to summarize, the college information, then there is a Scholarly, which is also a great tool. Let me put you that information as well, right? So before that happens, let me, those are the tools. Yeah. So if you look at this, it has actually Elon Musk, Jinka Janma, 28 June 1971 K. This is the huge summary from the 27-page document, right? So if you want that in bullet points to speak in a couple of these things, it can also do that, right? So if you want a very brief short summary as well, it will do that short summary also for you in one liner, right? So if you have multiple languages, you can choose which language you want, and it will do it for you, right? So let me not disturb that. You can also upload files. See, this is bullet points, right? This is how it looks. Say I want to change this to English. Again, now I will upload the Bitcoin, right? So the Bitcoin information, it will now translate the Bitcoin PDF file, and it will summarize me. Sorry, I did not click summarize. It will summarize me that information as well, right? So while that summarizes, let me show you another tool as well, right? So most of you need this tool. For instance, if I have to take, okay, let me actually bring on this one as well. While this is doing that stuff, because it has to read the document, right? It is not web scraping. This is reading from the document, so it is taking a bit of time. But before that, many of you here are students, right? So if you want to create a a resume for yourself, right? So I will say I'll try to create a resume, skip personal information, my documents. Let me actually, I've done it earlier, so let me actually do this. I can search for a job or create resume, right? So new resume. So now, if I give certain information like this, right, so hello, testing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's go back here, right? So this one is the I have uploaded a file for Bitcoin and asked it to review, give me a quick summary. It did that, right? If I want a bullet point, it gave me the bullet points as well. If you have to talk about Bitcoin in one liner, it will give you one liner as well. It is very easy before you go into any meeting, right? So this is how it really works, right? um, Hope it is interesting. That's one. And the other one is this is the this one, marketing content creator, right? So let me also do you another example of marketing content. uh, Many of you must have heard about HubSpot, right? So if I want to create a blog, say for example, you have seen many blogs, right? Many marketing people will do blogs. So I will say write a blog. I'm not writing the entire blog, but I'm just writing, I'm trying to write a blog, right? So I write a blog about um, what should I write? Artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence um, in the new era. So imagine if you have to do this, right? If you have to do this entire blog, how much time will it take, right? So I'll say in education, and then I select a title. It is generating me the titles as well, right? So AI transforming the future of finance, or revolutioning AI in the education, whichever, right? It is giving me certain options. I did that, and then I don't have to review outline, and then it is creating the blog for me. If you look at this, it is creating that blog. I simply say that's fine. You generate the blog in minute. I mean, it has given me more options. But now, if you look at this, it is automatically generating the entire blog for me. Imagine thinking and writing this blog by yourself will take how much time, right? You can now go and personalize this one. You can write more, or even you can change the content. Maybe, I want to generate a new paragraph. I'll ask Copilot. If you ask Copilot, it will give you, hey, change, add new paragraph for AI in medicine. So it is the Copilot is actually giving you a new paragraph, right? Now it is asking you if you want to revert this, or insert this copy. I will simply say insert. Say it has already inserted. Now I'll say, can I insert an image with AI background? I have never tried it, but it is trying to um, find something for me. See, all I need is a prompt, the right prompt, right? So once it is done, it will automatically create. You can use this in your day-to-day life. Say you're a content creator, you will be able to personalize, these things, right? So so it has created me an image as well, right? So I can use this image with the background, and I can insert it everywhere. So this is how the personalized blog is looking like. You can actually preview this one. It will say this is how it is. I did not insert the image, by the way. This is how it looks in tab. This is how it will look in your desktop, right? So it is very easy. Within seconds, I was able to create content as well, right? So these are different applications. Let me actually show you a couple of more, and before I proceed with the next one, I've shown you that. For the image creation, you can use um, the crayon, or even you can use the chat GPT itself, right? So chat GPT, for instance, let me actually show. Okay, chat GPT, right? So if I want to write a new chat, create an image. Yeah, I'll use something, right? It can automatically create me an image. Maybe it is processing, but this is, you can use this one, or you can use even the crayon to ask the same chat, same thing, right? So copy this one. I'll try to use this one. I did not try. Maybe I have to log in. Yeah, so you see, I have asked create an image of a cozy coffee shop on a rainy day, right? So it have actually picked many coffee shops, and it is generating me one image, right? So it's one. This is still processing. This is also still processing because it has to talk to its CNN neural networks in order to pick all this information, right? So it also, the reason why I have this example is a rainy day. I told you about the deep belief system, right? So deep belief system will actually bring this information, the rain in the background, right? So it means it's a cozy means very dull, and it has the images in the background, right? So this is still generating, I believe, because this is still rotating. So many a times, if you don't see that in ChatGPT here, it will be already in the library for you. So ChatGPT is very slow because it has a lot of information to bring. But this is, you see how easy it is, right? So I'll put that information also there, right? So the last example I want to show is the chatbot assistant here. Let me also bring the chatbot assistant for you. Yeah, app.chatbot. You can actually add a chatbot. Say I will use the same wiki for my chatbot, right? So I'll create a chatbot here from a chatbot, scan full page, continue. You don't have, if you see, there is no chatbot for Wikipedia, right? But if you want to read some information from it, uh, you cannot specifically go, or you have to search price, right? So it it showed you 16 items where you have price, so you have to look for specific prices and then understand what is happening here, right? So which is very difficult. Now if you have this chatbot, what will happen? It will actually crawl into the entire information, create content for you, and you can ask any question from this chatbot, right? So um, oh, it did not check for this website. Why? Finish training, continue. Interesting. So it is not picking the Wikipedia, because Wikipedia has millions of information, right? So uh, what we will do, we will take Online IT Vidhya. We will take this website, right, for information. Let us use this one because this has less content. Wikipedia has trillions of data bytes, so that is why it is not able to train that information there. In the interim, this is what ChatGPT have generated. So when I said create an image of cozy coffee shop on a rainy day, it has created me this image. Isn't it very nice? This is better than this one, right? Cozy coffee shop. This has a lot of people. Uh, okay, so Online IT Vidhya, it has these many pages. So it has actually captured all this information. Now I simply say, add a chatbot. Now I have a chatbot. Let me test if this chatbot is working, right? So before I have this chatbot in there, let me test this chatbot. Okay, this is how your banking application work, right? So it will ask you for information. I say upcoming batches. See, it has given me all the information of the upcoming batches. I would say artificial intelligence. Now it is looking for that information. It will give me that information as well, right? So you see how the artificial intelligence features are, right? So you understood this one, right? Maybe Wikipedia is huge, but I have just tested with the online IT Vidhya, and it was able to create me a bot and gave me this information perfectly. The same way, the image generator, if you can actually, if you want to create videos as well, Sora from ChatGPT can actually do wonderful videos as well, right? So these are all artificial intelligence generated humans. These are not real humans, by the way, right? So you can search for something and then you can describe and ask to create something, but I think I don't have the enough licenses for, I mean, my subscription ended, so I cannot show you this Sora, but this is how it is, right? So okay, going back, let me give you these things also in the chat, right? So where is okay, I have put that in the chat. When you're free, you can actually try that information as well, right? uh, Going back to this one, so why should you care about learning AI with us, right? So you know as I mentioned already, lots of jobs are disappearing in every area. And then if you look at the current trends of the market, right? So, many people are losing their jobs. That's on the one side. But the other side, people who learn AI are actually getting, at least 78% of hikes in their, at least, more than 56% of the hike compared to their peers who doesn't know AI. I'm actually not, I did not pick this information from somewhere, but this information is shared on the sites like, the Business Insider, the PwC, or the Economic Times of India, right? So um, what you need to do, you need to learn AI to boost your salaries or grow within the organization, right? So not just one industry or the other industry, every industry, including students, right? So if you know certain tools, you will be able to do your job well than the other. Say, for example, if you are a PhD student, you have to do a thesis, right? You don't have to worry about learning everything and sitting in a library for days to understand things. You can do your research, and AI will help you expedite your research. Not that you should not completely rely on it, because there is hallucination of information, but you should know the right way to do that, to avoid mistakes in doing that stuff, right? That is why we are here, right? So this is one. Personal growth, if you know AI, you will have higher salaries, you're unlocking leadership roles. Maybe your manager doesn't know AI, but your company wants to build a AI capability. In the next cycle, who will your senior management prefer? Your manager without AI knowledge, or you with AI knowledge? You, right? Ultimately. And job stability. Job stability, if you know AI, you are like the operator of those machines who replaced the labor in a car manufacturing company. That example which I told you, right? And professionally, you will gain promotions, you will lead into digital transformation, you will stay ahead of job market. Now, I'll give you another small example, right? So when QA was new, when we all graduated from engineering, we wanted to become a QA engineer. So say, for example, you became a manual tester in a company and you worked there for, say 3 or 4 years, right? So you become comfortable with your jobs. Then automation testing came into market. Selenium came into market. People who learned Selenium had better chance of getting another job. But people with manual testing, if they if they don't learn if they don't learn Selenium, they couldn't go into another market. Same with robotic process automation, right? So when RPA came into market, people with Selenium were fearful that their jobs will be lost because of RPA. Forget about manual testers. Same with the new technologies that are coming every day. But if you know AI, the good part of AI is not like one technology that will be there here today and it will change tomorrow, right? So AI will be continuously there. You just need to understand what right tools you need to learn in order to, stay abreast of others, right? So yeah, and that's why we are here. We will be able to teach you, train you, make you market ready, and also uh, job ready for future, right? So as I told you, these are only few examples, right? So in career with AI, if you take technology and engineering, most of the engineering students here or people who are into IT, these are the careers, right? AI engineer, Gen AI engineer, agentic AI developer. We are already learning and hearing about these things, right? LLM developers. You don't have to be an LLM developer. You can be a wrapper developer as well on top of the existing LLMs. Prompt engineer. This is another vital role that is growing, right? So you know AI, but how to use AI is this prompt engineering, right? So yeah, and not only the technical people, right? So the business and strategy, right? So AI business analysts, product managers, solution architects, there is huge list, right? That's why I said and more, right? So marketing media content, I just told you, gave you some examples as well. Voice assistants, social media automators. I just wrote a blog within 1 second, right? So this is how that works. Copywriters, you know in health tech as well, right? So I'm currently working on one of the most prestigious AI model to refine, predict future diseases, right? So myself with Kiran and others are working on that. So we are like healthcare AI analysts, and not just that, but medical imagining, critical data, clinical data, drug discovery. I told you an example of COVID vaccine. That's also because of the research in AI as well, right? So again, why choosing us? To learn new skills. Um, you know, just to understand, a common man needs clarity on the basics. Right now, I have gone you through under 1 hour or less than 1 hour. You are already aware of basics of AI, right? So this is exactly what you need. You need more clarity on basics, access to right tools, and guidance from experienced trainers, right? So we have Kiran, who is an AI expert uh, from uh, from Cloud AI Leaders. So he already had like 6 years of experience in AI tools, and he's working with a lot of prestigious banks already. But he is our mentor trainer. He also helps me with a lot of things in AI. So you need things like this, right? So any layman can read, go to YouTube and learn, but it will not give you the impact, or it will not give you the necessary information on what to learn when, right? That is very important. So Online IT Vidhya, on the other hand, have already trained more than 1 lakh students successfully, And in collaboration with those experienced industry specific professionals, I think we will be specialized and can make you future ready, right? And what are we covering in our course? These are the concepts. At a high level, we'll introduce to artificial intelligence, not like what I have introduced, but there are a lot of technical terms that you need to be aware. We will tell you about how ethical considerations are required. What is the future potential of AI? I have told you or given you a very layman terms of what natural process language is, basics, very basics, but we will introduce you more of those concepts. We will introduce to generative AI, very much required for your future jobs. How the data is actually, I've given you example of rewriting a sentence, right? So how is it able to generate that information? I've written a blog by writing just two letters or two words. How is it happening? The large language models, very the detailed version of the model, right? What exactly that model is, just in layman terms, I've explained that it is a database. On top of that, there are algorithms, and there is a layer which is fetching the information based on the patterns and its understanding. But there is a lot to discuss about LLMs, right? Prompt engineering, how well do you ask the prompt, right? So if I ask, say if I ask Siri, tell me who is Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, it told me I will search in internet, because there are a lot of chief ministers for Andhra Pradesh, right? But if I ask Siri who is the current chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, so if I add that one word current to be precise, then it will give me the accurate answer without verifying the GPTs, right? Again, what is GPT? Generative pre-transformed transformer, right? So yeah. Okay, so not only the basics, right? So we are also going to uh, create or explain you the advanced and the practical applications, which is like working on various tools, right? Not the examples that I have shown you, but there are a lot of other tools that we can use. How to map those APIs. If you want to create your own tool, how will you do that, right? So we will also discuss about, most of you are non-IT, so you don't want to write code, but you want to still build applications, right? There are no code, low code applications as well. We will discuss the lang chains and the you know retrieval augmented generations, the RAGs as well, right? So, and also we'll discuss the multi-agent AI systems. We will discuss about various platforms for the AI development. And there are a lot of things in the cloud, but we will discuss only on AWS for the ease of applications, because AWS covers 52% of the market, right? So we will also do a capstone project, which means we will try to develop our own application. We will give you some real-time use cases. You will be able to deal with that, right? So that brings to the end of this session. Um, and if you want to register for the course, there is a QR code here. There are phone numbers listed here. You can reach out to us. Yeah. So otherwise, we are done for today's workshop. I will end the recording here and open the floor for your questions, right? So let me stop the recording.